Welcome back and welcome to part 5 of this stylized forest meadow blender tutorial series. If you haven't seen the previous parts, then definitely check out the tutorial playlist with the links in the description. So in this part we're going to be modeling the butterfly, and then we're going to animate the butterfly moving across the scene. And if you're enjoying this tutorial series and you'd like to help support the channel, then a great way to do that is by purchasing the project file. So you can get that on my Gumroad store and my Patreon page, and you can also get access to so much more Blender content on my Gumroad store and Patreon page, such as different 3D models and the different project files and procedural materials and lots more Blender content. Now in this part we're going to be doing some basic animation and we'll be animating the butterfly. And if animation is something that you're interested in and something that you want to get better at, then I highly recommend checking out this animation course. P2 Design's Alive animation course is packed with tons of animation learning content. Great for beginner and intermediate Blender users. This course will teach you the basics of animation, adding keyframes, interpolation modes, using the timeline, graph editor, and there are also some beginner animation exercises in the course. The course also shows you how to make a walk cycle and has some other animation tutorials. Check out the course with the link in the description, and if you purchase the course through my affiliate link, you'll be helping to support this channel. Alright, so now let's create the butterfly. So what I'm going to do is actually just hide this scene here in this collection. I'm just going to hide this just to get it out of the way, and I will hold down the Z button and go back to solid view. And then I'm going to press Shift C. Shift C is going to center this 3D cursor into the center of the scene. So I'm now going to be adding in that butterfly image from Pixabay, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the tutorial series, but it's a free image from Pixabay, and I'll have the link in the description. So to add it into Blender, I'm going to be adding it as the images as planes. Now we are going to be using the images as planes add-on, so if you don't have the add-on enabled, you can click on edit and you can go to the preferences, and then if you go over here to add-ons and go to the search, you can search for images and you can turn on the import images as planes, and then you can save Blender's user preferences if you want it to always be enabled. So let's close the user preferences, and if I now go to the add menu with Shift A, I can go down here to image and I can choose images as planes. And then here is the butterfly image that I'll be downloading from Pixabay. And also if I press the N key to open the side panel, I'm going to choose emission here so that it is an emission material, and then I'll click on import images as planes. So if I zoom into the object and hold down the Z button and move my mouse into the material preview, you can actually see the butterfly. So now I'm going to rotate this butterfly object, and we'll rotate it on the x-axis, and I'll type in 90, and then I'll type in negative, so it's negative 90, and then hit enter. So the butterfly is now just placed down here. And we're basically just going to be using this as a background image to model the actual butterfly. So I'm going to bring this image down here just like that. So I'll now go to the add menu again, and I'm going to go to mesh, and I'm going to add another plane. And this plane, I will scale it down a bit, and I'll press Ctrl A and just apply the scale, and I can press 7 on the numpad to go to top view, and I'll hit tab to go into edit mode, and then I can hit G to grab, and I want to move the mesh over in edit mode so the origin point is still in the center. And I now want to add a mirror modifier so that we can mirror the butterfly's wings over to the other side. So I'll click on add modifier, and I'm going to search for the mirror modifier, and then click on the X so it's mirrored over on the x-axis. So I now want to scale the whole thing down, and I want to bring it in a little bit, scale it down, and just kind of stick it right there into the body of the butterfly. And then I want to deselect everything, and I'm just going to box select these two vertices, and I can scale them up, and I can bring them over here just like that. And then I can hit E to extrude and then S to scale. And I want to bring that over there and bring that right up there. And I will shift select these two and I will extrude them out again. Let's bring this over here and bring this one up a bit and bring this over. And then I want to add a loop cut in the center. So I'll press Ctrl R and I can left click and drag down, left click. And then I can select these vertices here and double tap the G key to activate the edge slide. And I'll bring these both up here and then kind of stick this about there. Then I can select both of these and extrude them and scale them. And we're going to stick them down there. And then I can select this one here and shift select this one here, and I can extrude this out and bring this up there. Select these two and extrude them and scale them. And we're going to bring that up there, and then extrude them again, scale them down, and then just one more time, we'll extrude that and scale that in a bit. Alright, so something like that is pretty good. If you want to add more loop cuts and smooth out the edges, you can, but the butterfly will be pretty small, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see the details because it'll be moving kind of fast across the scene. And also the low poly look kind of adds to the stylized scene. So let's go back to object mode, and I'll press Shift-C to center the 3D cursor, and I'm going to model another part, which is going to be the body. So I'll go to the add menu, let's add a cube, and then I can hit tab to go into edit mode, and I'm going to scale this cube way down, just make it really small, and I can scale it out on the y-axis like that. Press 7 on the numpad for top view, and I can hit G to grab and bring it down on the y-axis, scale that down a bit, and scale the entire thing up. We're going to scale it up on the y-axis so it's a bit longer. Alright, and then I'll press Ctrl-R to add a loop cut in the center. I can left click and right click so they stay where it is, and I can scale the whole thing up just a little bit. Alright, I'll hold down the Z button, go back to wireframe, and I can box select these vertices here, and I can bring them down a little bit and scale them a little bit. Box select these, and I think I'll bring them in and scale them down a little bit, and then I can extrude out the front here and scale it way down. This is going to be the neck, and then I'll extrude this out and scale it up, and this will be the head, and then extrude this out here, scale that down, and then extrude it out and scale it. Alright, scale that down a bit. Alright, let's go back to object mode, see how that's looking. I can use the object context menu and we'll shade that smooth. And then that neck is a little bit thin, so I'm going to go back into edit mode. I'll hold down the Alt key and select that loop of vertices, and I'll scale it up a little bit like that. Alright, so that's pretty good. Shift select both of these objects, and I'll shade both of these objects smooth. So that is really it for the butterfly. So I can select the reference image, and we'll hit X and click on delete. Now we are going to use that image later to add the material onto the butterfly, but I was also using it as the reference. So now what I want to do is join this object into this other object, but what I want to do first is actually cut this object in half because it's going to use the mirror. So I'll hold down the Z button, go back to solid view, and I'll go into edit mode, and I'll press Ctrl-R to add a loop cut in the center, and I'll left click and right click so it stays in the center, and I'll press 7 for top view, and I'll hold down the Z button and move my mouse into wireframe view. I can deselect everything, and then I'm just going to box select these vertices here, and I'll hit X to delete, and we're going to delete the vertices. Alright, so now what I can do is go back to object mode, select the body, and then shift select the wings, and I'll press Ctrl J, and because the body was joined into the wings, you can see that now the body has that mirror modifier, because the wings had the mirror modifier. Let's press Ctrl S again to save. So we can now add the texture for the butterfly, so select the butterfly. We can go here to the shading workspace, and let's zoom into the butterfly. So hit the period on the numpad to zoom into it. Let's click on new to add a new material, and I can just rename it to butterfly. And then I'm going to add in the material here, or the image. So I'm going to press Shift A, and I'm going to search for an image texture. Let's drop this here, and then I can click on the open button to open up the image. And so again, you can locate to wherever you've downloaded the free Pixabay image. I'll click on the image and click on open image. And the color can go into the base color. So let's press 7 on the numpad for top view, and I'll go into edit mode, and I'm going to select everything, and I'll hit U, and then we're going to unwrap, and we're going to do the project from view. So it just projects it down. And then to change the UV editing, let's go over here to the UV editing workspace here, and I'll zoom into the butterfly with the period key, and I'm also going to go into the material preview so I can see it. And then let's select everything here in the UV editor, and I'll hit G to grab and S to scale, and we're just going to shape it to the wing shape. So maybe bring this over here because I don't want the wings to be brown, so I'll bring that part out of the brown area, and just make sure that the wings are inside that blue area. So maybe bring this up here and bring that over. All right. So really just shape it to the texture there of the butterfly. And then I'm going to deselect everything, and I'll press the L key with my mouse hovered over the center part, so the body, and I'll just scale it down really small and stick it in here into the black area. So if I go back to object mode and look around here, you can now see we now have a nice texture on the butterfly. So let's go back over here to the shading workspace. And I will turn this roughness up a little bit to just like a 0.6, so it's a bit more rough. Let's go back over here to the layout. And again, I'll hold down the Z button and move my mouse into the material preview so we can see what that's looking like. So now what I want to do is animate the butterfly's wings using shape keys. So to use the shape keys, we're going to click right down here on the object data properties. And then we can open up the shape keys tab right here. So to add the shape keys, we're first going to click on the plus right here to add a basis key. And this is going to be the base of where the mesh is. So now here on the basis, I want to go into edit mode, and I want to press 1 on the numpad to go to front view. I'll deselect everything and then just hover my mouse over this piece here and press the L key to select the linked vertices. I'll hit R to rotate and G to grab, and we're going to stick it right about here so that the butterfly's wings are up. I'll go back to object mode, and so because we've just added the basis, that's going to be the basis key. So I'm now going to add another shape key below it, and we're going to rotate the butterfly's wings down. So we'll click on the plus here to add a new key, and I'll press 1 on the numpad for front view, and I'll go into edit mode, and I'll rotate it over and bring it down here. So just like that. All right, so now the wings are down, and that might be a bit too low, so I'll maybe bring that up a little bit. All right, so I can now hit tab to go back to object mode, and because this shape key was selected when we went into edit mode and moved it down, you can see when I go back to object mode, it's going to use the basis. But now this key here has this value, and so if we drag the value, that's going to blend between using all of the key or not using the key. So this is the basis, and then this is using key 1. So we can animate this value to make it look like the butterfly is flapping its wings. So what I'm going to do is here in the timeline, just go to the very starting, so frame 0, and I'm going to hover my mouse over this value here, and this is the value that we're going to animate, and I'll press the I key to insert a keyframe there. So now what I want to do is add a noise modifier to the keyframes to make it randomly move its wings. So what I'm going to do is hover right here when my mouse turns into a crosshair, and I'll click and drag to split this window. And then if I click here to change the editor type, I'm going to change this to the graph editor. And what I need to do is click on this drop down here, and then you can see there's a value and key 1. So I'll click on that value, key 1, and then I can click over here on modifiers on the side panel here. And I'm going to click on add modifier, and we're going to add a modifier to the keyframe, and I'm going to add noise. Now if I press the spacebar to play this, you can see that the butterfly's wings are just moving around. And if I drag this smaller and then drag this a bit smaller so you can see it a bit better, you can see that there's basically noise on that keyframe. Now what I need to do is click here where the arrow is and drag out. So we go back to this and click on the value keyframe. I'll make this smaller and I'll drag this out so we have the settings. So the noise has a few different settings. So I can make the scale. So if I want to be moving a bit slower, I can change that scale. And also I can change the strength. And now you can see that the butterfly's wings are moving up and down a lot more. So I'm going to turn this scale to a value of 2. And then the strength here, I'm going to turn this up to 4. So I think that's a pretty good amount. You can play around with that, mainly just the scale and the strength. You can change the offset if you want to, but that's not really going to change too much. So you can now see it looks like the butterfly is just randomly flapping their wings. So let me just drag this smaller for now just to get it out of the way. And I want to add an empty object, and the empty object will actually move the butterfly around. So I'll press Shift C to center the 3D cursor, and I can press Shift A for the add menu. And I'm going to go down here to empty, and I'm going to add the sphere empty. And I can scale this way down and bring it up on the Z axis and just kind of center it here in the center of the butterfly. And then I want to select the butterfly and then Shift and select the sphere last. And then I'll press Control P, and that will bring up the parent settings, and I'm going to choose object. So this way, because we selected the butterfly first and then the sphere last, now the sphere is the parent object, but the butterfly is just the child. So the butterfly can still move on its own, but then when the parent object moves, the butterfly will move with it, because the butterfly is the child object. All right, so I'm going to make this a bit bigger, make the graph editor a bit bigger now, because as well as adding noise for the wings, I also want to add a random noise to make the butterfly moving up and down. And then the empty will be used to move the butterfly around the scene. So let's select the butterfly, and then what I'm going to do is press the K key, and this is a new update in Blender version 4.1. Usually in older versions of Blender, you press the I key to bring up the keyframe menu, but in the new Blender version, you press the K key, and we're going to click on location. So now that I've added a location keyframe at frame 0, if I click and drag here to open up the side panel, you can see here there is the object transform, and if I click here to open this up, this is going to show us all the keyframes that have been added. So there's the X, Y, Z locations. So I'm going to click on the Z location, and I want to add a noise modifier to this to make it randomly moving up and down. So I'm going to click on add modifier, and again I'm going to choose noise, and make sure you have the Z location selected when you do that. So now if I press the spacebar, you can see it's looking even more realistic. So then to change the settings here, I'm going to turn the scale to 10 so that it's much more subtle. It kind of is just going up and down slower. But then the strength here, I want to turn this up to like a 6. So now you can see it just looks like the butterfly is randomly flapping its wings and kind of moving around. So then we'll use this empty object and we'll move this empty here, and it will just look like the butterfly is flying through the scene. So now what I can do is just click here when the crosshair appears, and I can click and drag over and then let go when the arrow appears, and that'll just close the graph editor. Let's make this a bit bigger, and what I want to do is box select these objects. I'll press the M key to move them. We'll choose new collection, and I can rename this to butterfly, and then just click on OK. So now we have the butterfly collection, and we can actually rename both of these if you want to. So click on the arrows here, and we can rename this to empty butterfly, and then this plane here, we can rename that to butterfly. Now, if I click on this button here to unhide the main scene and kind of zoom out, you can see the butterfly does look a little bit big. Now, I do want this butterfly to be a little bit bigger than a butterfly in real life regarding the rest of the scene, because this is a stylized scene, so it's okay if the size is a little bit stylized, so the animals can be a bit bigger. However, this butterfly is a little bit large, so I'm going to select this empty here, and I'm just going to scale it down, and I'll type 0.5 and enter, so it's just half the size. So now what I can do is I can animate the butterfly moving around the scene, and what's really great about parenting it to this empty is that no matter where I move the empty, the butterfly will still have a random animation. And another thing which is great about parenting this empty is if I hold down the shift key and select both of these objects, I can press shift D to duplicate them and move them over, and then this way I could easily add another butterfly to the scene, and I could make it flying around in a different place. So this is why using the empty is really useful. It's just super easy to just move the empty around. I can just pretty easily animate it on one axis moving around on the scene, but then the butterfly animation is going to be quite random, so I don't have to worry about animating the randomness of the butterfly. It'll just already be pre-animated. I'm just going to have one butterfly in the scene though, so I'll delete these butterflies. So I'll press the 0 on the numpad to go into the camera view, and you can see there's the butterfly, so I'm going to bring it back here, and also I'm going to bring it over here and bring it much closer to the front of the scene so I can see it a bit better. And let's just bring it over here. All right, so something like that is pretty good. I do want it to be closer to the camera, and I think I will rotate it over a little bit. Let's actually press the period on the numpad to zoom into it, and I'll rotate it around on the Z-axis like that. All right, go into the camera view, rotate that over. So that is pretty good. So I can now move the butterfly back here, and I'm going to have the butterfly just flying through the scene. However, I do think it would be better if the butterfly was a little bit farther back, because you can see there's some trees right there, and the butterfly might run into the trees. So I will move the butterfly a little bit farther back. All right, press the 0 on the numpad to go into the camera view, and that's a pretty good spot. So I'm now going to go over to maybe like frame 150. That's pretty good. And then I will press the K button to add the insert keyframe menu. And again, the K button is a new shortcut key that's been added to Blender 4.1. The old shortcut key is the I button. So if you're using an older version of Blender, you'll probably hit the I key, but in the new Blender version, you'll hit the K key, and we're going to choose location to add location keyframes. So I can now drag this over here. Let's maybe drag it to like 400. We can adjust the speed of it later if we need to. So now at frame 400, I can press 7 on the numpad to go to top view. I'll hit G to grab, and I'm going to move the butterfly way over here. And then again, press the K key, and I'm going to choose location. So if I go back into the camera view and play this, just watch the butterfly, you can see the butterfly just moves across the scene. Now I want to make the animation linear because it starts out slow and then gets faster and then slows down. So you can press the A key with your mouse hovered in the timeline to select the keyframes. I'm now going to hit the T key, and this is going to change the keyframe interpolation, and I'm going to change it to linear. This way now if I play it, you can see the butterfly is moving at a consistent speed. And if you wanted to, in the center here, you could add another keyframe, maybe have the butterfly higher up or lower down, and just move it around however you want. However, if I play the animation, I just want to take a look at the speed, and I think the butterfly could move a bit faster. Even though butterflies are small, they do usually move pretty fast. So an easy way to change the speed is to select the empty right here, and then I can hit S to scale, and you can see the keyframes are actually going to be scaled into the center of this blue line here, the playhead. So I can scale it down, and now if I press the spacebar to play, you can see it's going to go quite a bit faster. And to see the butterfly moving without being able to see the empty, I can click on this button here to hide the overlays. And now I can just play this, and you can see that looks quite realistic, and the butterfly is just flying through the scene. Alright, so that looks quite nice. Alright, so I'll just press Ctrl S to save, and this is going to wrap it up for this part of the tutorial series. So I hope you're enjoying the tutorial series, and thank you for watching. So in the last part, in part 6, the final part, we're going to be animating the camera. We're also just going to be doing a few more things in the 3D scene, just a few small things, and then we'll render out the animation to images, and then we'll use Blender's video editor to video edit the animation together, and we can also add the sound effects and music. So when the next part is released, it's going to be right up there on the end screen, and also the link will be in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the final part.